is important to you. And you know how elevator, like the lift goes from one floor to the next. So what you probably have is that movement that goes from the ground floor to the first floor. I have models that are here. If you need to tell someone that you're a model, that means you have to do a bit of work. Does that make sense to you? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? If somebody does not ask you, are you a model? That means there's a whole lot of work for you to do. Choma, Mwaba. Some models in the house also want to know, what do you think is the easiest and the fastest way they can pitch? Bespoke is, right? Like bespoke is when they do measure, they tailor to fit. So there's bespoke and there's ready to wear. So you do ready to wear and bespoke. She does a lot more bespoke than anything, because bespoke is they charge you according to how much they think that you make. So she can charge 2% different amount of money because you think this person can afford to pay her more. So if models in the business want to pitch what they do, what do you think is the best way to pitch yourself as a model?
Now, let's, first things first, right? So how do you even have opportunities to pitch your profession, right? I talked about the places you can go, and it's not specifically for shoemakers or fashion designers. It's for everybody in the fashion industry. You are in the fashion industry. I talked about the ways you can grow. You can intern, you can volunteer. As a model, you can also intern. So even if I was a model, I would have also chosen to intern on that show. What that meant is I'm going to be connecting with a lot more fashion designers. I'm going to be connecting with the powerhouses in fashion who are also recruiting models for different fashion shows. So it goes beyond just looking for who to pitch. First of all, you have to find yourself in those places and build those networks, right? By interning, attending those events, having this kind of people that you want around your network. Now, it's also easier to be part of a small community. Now, I say this because it's a lot easier to get opportunities when you're part of small communities than you're by yourself. You want to do everything by yourself. I'm not sure. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So you have to join small communities. So what this thing does is you pitch as a group of community. So for instance, in Lagos, how it's done is, so there's a fashion show, your manager comes to pitch on your behalf. Or if I'm managing, let's say, Beth King Model Agency, for example, that's not what they do. I'm going to be pitching to, say, a Zenith Bank to hire 100 models. It's easier for the whatever of Zenith Bank. Or I have 100 models. I want them to come and work on your fashion show, right? So it's easier that way than each two, right? So you see how easier it is to get into small networks and groups. Now, that aside, then to pitch on yourself by yourself, just in case you find yourself in an elevator anyway. How do you talk to the person that you have value to give? Now remember, you're not always going to be pitching the same things. Will not be the same pitch I will give to a Zenith Bank MD, right? It's not the same pitch I will give a Van Skeren, right? Because what I'm looking for with the UN is something else that relates to the impact of my work. So for instance, if I'm talking to the UN, I'll be talking about how I'm working for children with disabilities, how I'm showcasing, clothes for pregnant mothers, or how I'm more interested in helping women, so there are fashion outfits that make dresses for breastfeeding mothers. So the UN is more interested in social impact and social work. So the way you're going to pitch your modeling expertise will be along those lines. Or my name is Rosemary. I am a model. I'm focused on modeling for so-and-so brand who is more, who is an expert with outfits for breastfeeding mothers. Or I'm modeled for so-and-so brand who is, brands that have actually the kind of impact that a UN wants to fund. So that's why it's also important to understand who you're pitching to so that you know what interests them. I'm not going to be talking to Zenith Bank and talking to them about how I'm modeling for breastfeeding mothers. It might not be their interest, right? So understanding that will help you understand how to craft your pitch. So if I'm talking to Zenith Bank, or I meet a Zenith Bank marketing manager in an elevator, I'll be talking about how my modeling has increased the bottom line, or has increased or has made impact in some fashion house or some fashion event. So I'm talking about, my name is Rosemary. I model for so and so brands. I am you have this value. I have broad shoulders. It's more important for so and so showcase, right? So for some companies or some fashion brands, they use dark people, or they use people that are very that have long hair or that have dreads. So for some people that have dreads, that's your point of discussion. Why are you keeping dreads? Or I have dreads because the brands I project are interested in this and that. So it's your research that you need to do. Because I'm not even a model, at least I know that some brands are looking for people with brown eyes, or looking for people that have dreadlocks, or looking for people with bow leg. Yes, some people look for people with bow leg. All right? So understanding what the brands are looking for, it will help you understand how to pitch your business. And it doesn't mean you cannot model for any other brand. But because I'm talking to this brand who is interested in brands with dreadlocks, I'm speaking specifically on my expertise as someone who is wearing dreadlocks. Or I have a bow leg, and I know that these brands like people with bow leg. So as I'm talking to you on the impact of my...
Okay, thank you very much. So, so the reason that we're speaking about auto models more is because we've sort of spoken to creative earlier on. So if you're a model and you're in this room and you know what they call a call card, please raise up your hand. For models, if you know what is called a call card, raise up your hand. What is it? What do you say? Com card, right? That's what it's called. If you know what is called a com card, please raise up your hand. I can't see. If you know what is called a com card, raise up your hand this high. If you have a com card, please keep your hands up. Okay, so I'm going to call this young man in front to come and explain to models in the house what a com card is. Because the thing is that we need to understand these things before we even go further.
Good evening, everyone. A com card is it comprises of numbers of your height. It talks about your height, your statistics, and everything about you as a model. That's what the com card is all about.
So the reason I ask if most of you have a com card is before you can do what either of them have preached to you today, you have to have a com card that's readily available for you to shoot to the client. So, how many of you are going to promise me that after this evening, but for a whole lot of people who live here, have a higher advantage just because of location as models or creatives? We're taking names of noisemakers down, just by the way, and I can see you. I'm an boy, come and hold you.
I think one of to put out there that would attract followers. So if you have something that are brands or individuals that I follow up, brands that I know, okay, I can actually get things from them, inspiration. It might probably even be, I follow lots of brands as well, fashion brands as well, that are doing very well. You understand? Your followers always, so it's not about your location. There are lots of designers in Abuja and Port Harcourt that are doing very well. They are even doing better than designers in Lagos. And they have large, followers on social media. But they are not in Lagos. So it's not about location. It's more about the content that you put out there. That's what will attract people to want to follow you.
Okay, Chichi, Shoma. Because what you do is a lot more strategic than anything. I mean, apart from designing, but you also, even your design is sort of strategic, like in a way. So if anyone needs to reach you with a good idea that you will look at and say, this is fabulous, you can go ahead. What is the fastest and the most responsible way? I use the word responsible because people are going to be like, oh, I want to WhatsApp you, I want to do all this thing. What is the fastest and most responsive way anyone can reach you so you can help them scale their career, business, or give them an idea to point them in the right direction?
Okay.
Okay, let me make it simple for you. Is it an email or is it a DM?
Okay, so I totally get that, but I don't want you to bombard me and you say, oh, she doesn't respond. She doesn't respond quickly. I need to be my DM to respond to you per second. That won't happen. So you can send me a DM. My Instagram handle is Choma Red Button. You can send me a DM. I do respond. Send me a DM. There's an email there as well. If you click on the contact button, you see my email there. You can send me an email if you have a document to share. What I can do is to refer you or to share links with you that you can use. Excuse me.
Yes.
That you can use to, do your research and where you can find opportunities. I will share those links with you. And if you're not part of those networks, you don't receive those emails. So I can share some with you if you send me a message on.
Okay.
On Instagram.
Yes. So before we leave, I also want to find out. Okay, guys, go ahead and clap if you want to clap. Anakukwa Keba. So before we leave, I also want to ask, do we have an established modeling agency in Aba? There's so many of them. Are they getting you the jobs? Speak up. Okay, so do you think the time is right for us to set up something new that may get us the kind of job that we're looking for? Okay, so what I would do personally is also to speak to people who I think may have what it takes to set up an agency that when the time is right, we will find ways to pitch the right jobs. So like she said, she already have some jobs that might fit you guys and everything. But all in all, I want to say a personal thank you to Mr. Evans, to Choma, for making out time to be here with us in Aba, in Abia State, by going through, flying, going through the road, being there. Thank you so much for being gracious enough to also miss your flight on our behalf. And thank you so much for being amazing and coming back home. We wish to see you more at home. And this is from every single one of us. Thank you to Bet King, Zenith Bank, Guinness, every single person that has been part of this amazing show. Thank you so much for supporting us. We always remember that. Thank you. Have a nice evening.
Give me love, I go take us a piece of cake. You take me on a way. Cause if I love you by mistake, you go feel my way too. I be asking boy no debate. Cause they give me guilty conscience. They make me come to my senses. Anytime you touching my chest. Cause they give me guilty conscience. No. It's a love.
Right, whilst we are getting ready to leave, let me inform us that we have good news. There is a raffle draw happening right after this masterclass, and it's happening at Quick Bus Stand, a raffle draw. You stand to win stuff like bags, face cap, t-shirts, writing pad, pen, not paying nothing for it. It's a way of saying they are happy to be part of what we are doing. So let me say that again. We have a raffle draw coming up speedily. Don't forget that there is a raffle draw happening right now at Quick Box Stand. Quick Box Stand. You have to win stuff like bags, face cap, t-shirts, water bottle, beautiful pen, and what.
You be you, I be me. Me and you, we share together sometimes. You need my help, yes.
And ladies and gentlemen,
I give you everything you need. I need your
okay, I'm rightly informed that there is refreshment made available for everybody in